What the hell? We're talking about Thanksgiving, and let's talk to, is it Larry in Irvine? Larry in Irvine, Thanksgiving, should we just feel awful about it? Should our children in school just walk around and hang their heads in shame?
Not in shame, but I think we should tell them the truth that, Christopher Columbus wasn't this saint who came here and had dinner with everybody. He was a slave trader, and he tricked these people, took their gold. And
that's true, but wouldn't Thanksgiving dinner just kind of be really boring and depressing at your place? If you know what I mean? Like, hey, that turkey, before you start biting on that turkey, just remember all the genocide and the horror and the blood and the pestilence. I mean, what a bummer, man.
History.
I know it's a part of history, but do you think, especially like young kids, when you were a young kid and Thanksgiving rolled around, how much did you actually think about the Mayflower and the Pilgrims?
I actually thought about it, and I thought they were these cruise ships that came over, and they were nice people. But now, after the last few years, that I've discovered that he wasn't
you were
this
six,
really nice
when you
guy.
were 6, you were sitting around thinking about Pilgrims.
Sure, yeah, we made hats in class. We drew the boats. We knew the names of the Santa Maria, the Pinta. We knew all the names, and they painted this rosy picture of Thanksgiving being this really great holiday, and it is a great holiday. Now it is, but there has to be a little bit of perspective.
I know. I have no problem with perspective, but why don't the teachers teach that, involve that in a history class, and give a well-rounded historical education to the kids, instead of when Thanksgiving rolls around, instead of just hanging with your family, you got to just sink into shameful depression. That's where I think it goes. You don't think this goes a little far? Do you think it goes a little far to have actual school policy be to remind the kids that Thanksgiving is not a happy time, it should be a time of mourning? Isn't that just a bit extreme?
It should be more of a time of contemplation, like Veterans Day, where, we don't think about blood and guts and gore. We're thinking about heroes and people who have made this country a beautiful place that it is. And, why not? But at the same time, we know, so you got some casualties here and there, and there's nothing you can do about that. It's part of war. So kids understand that nowadays with the TV and all these video games.
But see, a lot of it I don't think they do. I mean, it's like I hear all of these progressive social ideas that we're supposed to be pumping into the kids' heads, but then when you start asking kids, and I do this a lot, when you start asking them about historical realities and what they know about history, we're raising kids now that don't even know who Hitler was, who don't know anything about World War II, Vietnam, World War I, Korea, who don't know anything about JFK and RFK, who don't know anything about the history of this nation, along with Wounded Knee and all the horrors and awful things that took place with the native peoples and the traditional peoples when we came along. They don't have any basic foundation in just history itself to be able to, in a sense, then when holidays roll around, have to swallow all of this other progressive philosophy in regards to how they should feel about it. That to me is totally incongruous as far as an educational philosophy.
So you just want to tell them that everything was very peaceful and everything.
You're not listening to me. No, I want them to teach in the classes history so that when Thanksgiving comes around, well, they already got a historical perspective. What I'm saying to you right now is that what I observe in the public education system is they're not being taught history at all. Not in some realistic sense. So when you say, well, they know all about it, well, no, they don't. We're graduating kids from high school right now who don't even know who the Nazis or Hitler was.
Well,
they don't know what it is. They don't know who Abraham Lincoln was.
It sounds like the Seattle board is doing the right thing, the school board.
Yeah, they're teaching really well when they have the day off. What the hell are they doing the others, 5 days of the week? That suddenly it has to become an issue with Thanksgiving. That's what I don't get.
That is too many days off. But at the same time, I think the teachers should not be getting the day off. They should be going to work and doing their history research on those days. Well,
no.
And maybe they should be paid a little bit more too.
I appreciate the call, man. I just got to keep things rolling. Yeah, maybe if they were, teachers don't make a whole lot of money in this country. Certainly not in California. But this is what slays me. They don't bother to teach the kids anything meaningful during the week as far as history. And then when the holiday rolls around and they get to sit on their butts with the day off, eating turkey, eating giblets, then all of a sudden they want the children to be taught sensitivity and tolerance in reference to historical realities about the genocide wrought on traditional peoples from the hands of evil white people. Then when Thanksgiving rolls around, then they suddenly want them to be progressively aware and intellectually aware. And they spend the rest of the 9 months, I don't even know what the hell they're teaching them. Seriously, I've met kids who are getting ready to graduate from high school who don't know who Adolf Hitler was. They don't know. They weren't taught. And like I said before, they can't form a classic sentence structure in any way, shape, or form. They're getting into college, and in my opinion, a lot of them are functionally illiterate. But then when the holidays roll around, suddenly these people want to teach. Suddenly these people want them to understand and wrap their little minds around the horrors of the reality of the settling of white folks on planet America, on planet USA. To me, it's just stroking their own egos and their own intellects without really caring about the kids one way or the other. All right, I got to take a break. We'll talk about the kid who was suspended for drawing stick figures. That's coming up next hour. KFIM 640, more stimulating talk radio. Now, if I'm hanging outside a Philly cheesesteak place that says no long-haired freaky people need come in and apply, and I'm going to the Philadelphia Commission, I'm going to get me some discrimination charges, even though I cut my hair. Signs, everywhere signs. Okay, this is the story of Joe Vento. He testified this past Friday defending his store, his cheesesteak. He has a cheesesteak joint. Yeah, a cheesesteak joint, and he has this policy of, he has little signs that say, hey, when you're coming in here, please speak English when you're ordering your food. Is that racist? Is that a racist policy? I don't think it is. But maybe I'm full of crap. Let's see. Let's go to Larry in Irvine. Larry, you're on KFI. What's on your brain?
Yeah, I'm a professor, and I think this is the wrong decision by the owner. And if he wants people to learn English, he should put up vocabulary words and hand out, flashcards and be positive about it.
Flashcards? Are you serious?
Yes, not everybody
flashcards.
Is an English speaker. Maybe they're just learning.
Should he hire an English teacher to be on site and before you order that cheesesteak, we're going to do a few lessons here.
Sure, if he's that concerned about people.
If I go into a restaurant in France, are they going to afford me that if I can't speak French?
Well, the French doesn't pretend to be the free country and free everything. If you have
it's only racist in America then.
It is. If you have to speak a
and you're a
language,
professor,
then it's not freedom.
What's that?
If you have to speak English, then it's not freedom.
But is the freedom something that should be afforded you by a guy who runs a cheesesteak joint, or is that your free? Isn't it your freedom to make the choice to learn the language of a nation so that you can operate in that country, so that you can communicate with people?
Sure, that's
this guy's got to provide flashcards for people.
Well, just going around and being negative and telling people that you have to learn.
He didn't say you have to. He said you got to order. Please speak English. It makes it go better. It makes it easier.
Sure, it does make it go easier. But if not, you're going to deny making money just because somebody wants to say a different word?
No, it sounds to me like he wants to encourage people to be able to order in his store so he can make more money.
Well, the way you encourage people is by showing them the way and giving them a path to learning. And
so should he have said
denying them is not the way.
But he's not denying. He's saying, please speak English. He's not saying you can't order if you don't speak English.
Well,
he's not saying you're not allowed on the premises if you can't speak English.
So
what if he said,
let's say you're hungry, you want to go
what if the sign said, I have no translator in Espanol? Would that be equally as racist?
That's a good question. I don't know about that.
Well, see how you are?
Well, just looking around here, I mean, I know if I go into, let's say, a Japanese sushi place and I want to order something in Japanese, they're not going to say, no, you have to speak English. Well, if you want to speak Japanese... and
this guy's not saying, no, you can't have a cheesesteak either. This guy is saying, when ordering, please speak English. In other words, yeah, right. It's like saying, hey, I can't translate it. I have nobody on staff who can translate it. I haven't quite discovered the funding to hire an English teacher to do flashcards with you at your table before you order.
Well, maybe you should just
please speak English
altogether. Maybe just take out language altogether and just put pictures, and then everybody will be happy.
Oh God!
What is this dude talking about?
Jeez, your university tuition hard at work there. Flashcards. It'll make people feel bad. It'll make them feel bad.